Hey, You Will Make It TV followers, viewers, supporters, and listeners across the globe. Thank you for clicking on another live segment with the You Will Make It TV channel family, where we share inspirational quotes, divine messages, and insightful topics weekly, okay? In case you're new to our channel, welcome 1,000 times. I'm audio host Arthur, Miss Tetasheri Whitney, and we're happy to have you here to help us continue to spread just a little more inspiration to the world each and every day. We can always use a little more light, especially with the dark times that we're living within today. Like, why would we need any more contribution to darkness than the natural darkness that we already coexist with every day? So just like at You Will Make It TV, we support those that are supporting others, and we also appreciate the support. Feel free to tune in to previously recorded live segments just like these in case you missed them. We have a plethora and a variety of topics that you might find inspiration from, no matter what part of the world, what culture, where you come from. We all can relate to someone or something or somebody. You know what I mean? So today's topic was inspired by a story out of, I believe this was out of Memphis, I last just seen on the news. First of all, condolences to the family, loved ones, friends of that particular person who lost their life over. And that's what we're finna get into right now. When stuff first happened, if you weren't there, you don't know what actually transpired between two people. We just know that another life was lost. They're definitely not hiding that the person who took the life was like a religious leader. He was, because to me, regardless of what your profession was, if you physically stand there and take a life yourself, they could care less what, it's different if you're, like with his case, I do believe he might end up, because the man was 69 years old. Turns out they were supposedly having a heated discussion about some religious topic, and however the conversation went, she ended up, pouring a bottle of liquor over him and slapping him upside the head. It's like, how does a religious topic take you that far, right? That far into your emotions where you're actually putting your hands on somebody. And yes, it sounds childish. It sounds unreal or a little dramatic, but it's kind of how people have been getting by with their opinions being accepted in the world. Like, oh, okay, well, you're going to agree with me or I'm going to physically assault you. Not talking about those two individuals, but that's kind of how it went down. It's literally a news story circulating right now. And this young lady's life is like gone now. And it's just crazy. Like, how does it go from y'all discussing your beliefs and your opinions to somebody got shot? You see, I've been saw years ago, and I just want to bring it from my perception. Anything I'll share on this stream today is just my commentary, reaction, and viewpoints. Nobody has to agree, but I saw that years ago, or I at least made up in my mind that I don't, who I am, I don't owe, like, what is this new culture? You owe people an explanation about, well, you said you're a believer. You said this and that. Now, people that's really looking for hope, it's not going to be hard to see. One thing we all can agree on is that when you see a glimpse of hope, nobody has to clarify that for you and say, no, that ain't hope. That's the wrong direction. Hope is a sense of a euphoria sense that people can sense for themselves. And I don't find pleasure in somebody trying to disorient what I find hope in anymore. And I encourage people, to kind of adopt the same mindset. That does not mean go live your life exactly how I do. That's crazy anyway. Like, oh, if I live exactly how a person live who says they believe this, I can see how that can be misconstrued. You shouldn't be trying to live like anybody. So you mean to tell me God made us all different for us to come out the womb and try to live every day of our life trying to be like the next person? Where does it say that in the Bible? Even if we are talking about religion, where does it say that every unique soul that's born is supposed to be living like the last one, even if they're a reincarnated soul? Not to down any religion, Why would God want them to come back and do the same thing over and over and over again, even if you do believe in reincarnation? Like they just in a trap box or circle or a platform. They're just coming back to Earth to repeat the same thing over and over again. No, me personally, I do not believe that. So, no, this topic is not to stir up the pot for negative reasons. It's like, is it just me or can other people see it? There is a slow death, it seems to be, to religion morale. Anything that takes you out of morality and principles and integrity, that's not even, I didn't believe that that's what religion was always about. And it's just crazy. Like, they do say the devil hide in the details or something. He be in the details. Just look at it. You seeing more stories of religious leaders getting arrested or exposed. You can only expose some people didn't know. That's another thing. You can only expose what people thought was not going on in religious sects and religious groups and communities. Because we know the stuff that happens in the streets and everyday life, that's kind of where crime has always taken place. Crimes and just crazy things, right? But you don't expect it in some places. Now, when people go there about the church, I remind them there are other places in the world that evil goes on that shouldn't be there either. Like, for example, nobody sends their kids to school to hear that there's a school shooting or there's a mass shooting or there's some weird violent act in the hallways. But because this became normalized and they like, well, we'll just suspend the ones that did that. I don't know. It was never really fully taken serious. The fact that kids had been committing whole suicide due to kid bullies, because kids do abuse one another too. They sure do. Abuse can be in any age, range, culture. That's why I say when you put religion to the side for a second and you're just talking about morale, integrity, what's right and wrong, you really don't need religion to teach you that. That's why some people right now, I guarantee you, they're raising their kids with no religion involved at all. Because, at the end of the day, when people grow up, ain't that something they choose for themselves? They're going to go do their own research. They're going to go find the things that benefit their own life to them once they become adults. But the way religion culture works, usually these practices are just passed down and passed down and passed down. And everybody's expected to, stay in line with it is what it is. Just ask real people who actually take their religion very serious in their culture. They teach it to the next generation and it's just passed down. The thing is, though, once one person make one mistake out of their whole community or group, the whole religion is to be questioned. The whole sector is to be questioned. That's just the way of the world. But where they go too far with me is like, oh, well, yeah, God is going to be on stand and we're going to question him too, because look at the people that said they follow him. It just seems stupid. You going to put God on trial now? Literally, you going to put God through a series of questioning? Go ahead, have fun. Because look, when you call yourself, that's like misguiding the order all of a sudden. Like, yeah, we want to show the world that, yeah, we'll even question God. Well, we can't say that's really new. You got to first believe somebody is, you got to believe something about somebody to even get to the level of questioning them. That's crazy. Why are you asking questions? Because you really want to know, or you're trying to debunk? Like, usually questions come from somewhere, some type of intent. People don't just ask them, do they? I know all my questions come from somewhere. They come from the bottom of my heart. I'm not finna just sit there and waste my time asking something, or you feeling like some people have admitted this. Like, man, you threw me off with some of the questions you done asked in life. Maybe that wasn't my intent, but like I said, it's kind of weird to sit there and like study. I want to know where this person's questions come from. That's crazy. You had to have walked in my shoes my whole life to understand why a question means something to me, especially about religion. You see, that's crazy. I'm just talking about me, for example. I have a right to want to know more. You don't just, oh, come join this team. But I can't know anything about the team's statistics, the team's history, the team's coach. You just want me to join some stuff. That's what you call the blind leading the blind, honestly. But these are just my opinions. Once again, you guys feel free to leave your own, drop your own opinions and thoughts in the comments. But I just feel like there is a slow death happening. I also feel like it's a spiritual thing too. Like they wanted it to be a slow death to people's faith. I said to religion. If anything, it's a slow rising of people's faith because they're gonna end up trusting God, or there'll be nothing else they can really put their full trust in. What is man made today that can't perish? You know, even the babies and children and that we have every day. Somebody is dying every day. Anything man made, it can perish at any given time. It's not that powerful. These are just assets and tools and things we use every day. Anything man-made can perish. I don't care if it's the biggest robot we ever seen. It has a weakness. Anything man-made, it has a weakness, okay? So what is religion again? Is that man-made? It's just crazy to think about it. Yes, you know what? Ben, out there in the comments, I need to figure out really how this works. I would love to have a new moderator step up. Like, let's get this going. Like, I'm saying yes to Mr. Ben out there in the chat. I would love to bring in some new moderators and stuff. I actually could use a lot of assistance over here in the channel, especially when it comes to the thumbnails or the streaming times, because some people are on different times of the world, so they don't see our lives till later after I post it. I mean, it's so much to it, right? But I really do try to follow my heart and get the messages out there that I feel like could inspire people in a positive way. Okay, it's not like I be on my channel saying, hey, everybody, let's go storm the White House like other people did. We're inspiring people to look at things differently. Because, see, if we already under some type of control programming every day where somebody is always working to control how you see everything, I would say that's not considered religion, media, networking and stuff. But it is how they practice it. They practice it religiously, putting every new story up there, wanting you to look at the story how they see it in the media. No, your job is just to report the news. It's not your job to sit there and try to control how that news affects us. Last I checked, news is news. I don't know. It's just crazy how this all ties in as a matter of fact to what I'm talking about. They'll say news and media communications is not religious. Okay, but look what they do religiously. You're going to share a story about sometimes it's good stories, but other times the news has always gained traction because it's news. It's things people wouldn't have known unless they turn the TV on. And that's a problem. Why aren't you more connected in your community, in your state, in your country, in your local? Just because what if there is no news? How you going to know what's going on? How you going to know? And somebody got offended the other day because I said some of these stories we wouldn't even knew about unless they got publicized. Because I do believe there's a lot of publicists out there that are led by God. What do you mean? So I brought that up to say that just as much as things is shared so they can, to me, control people's perceptions, there's a lot of stuff that be hidden. So I'm sorry to what I said the other day offended when I said a lot of these stories people wouldn't even know unless it was light shined on it. That was my way of proving, do people really care? Like, really? You want to go gossip and talk about some stuff and share it all over social media because you found out? You should already, that's the point of us teaching awareness over here at You Will Make It TV, and not just in religion and spirituality. So you're going to tell a person if they have no religion and no spiritual beliefs, there's no awareness inside of them at all? Because with some people, it was just natural. Even when they told themselves, I don't believe in anything. Now, y'all probably ain't heard too many testimonies like that. But there's some people that have tried to walk away from their faith. I'm one of them. If God is real and a person is chosen and they are called to do something, that's not something they can run from. You show me a Bible story where a prophet or a chosen person was able to literally physically or spiritually run from what God called them to do, because I ain't seen it yet. And I've read the Bible many times. It doesn't mean I can't read it again. I'm not saying that to be arrogant. I've read it and I didn't see where prophets had it easy. That's number one. They never had it easy. While people walking around here teaching, well, if you're really being led by God, we should see signs of easiness in your life. It makes me chuckle. Cause them the type of people that ain't read the Bible then. Do you know what was going on when some of these, okay, it says click on my comment and it will say add as a moderator. Okay. I'm working on it right now, Ben. I'm on it. Let's see. Okay, it says click on it. Click on my comment and it will say add as a moderator. Okay, I'm trying, Ben. I clicked on the comment. It's not saying it to me. Hold on. I'm clicking on it. Oh, here we go. Here we go, Mr. Ben. Did I do it right, Mr. Ben? It says you're now a channel moderator. So shout out to Mr. Ben for his support today. Anybody who wants to elaborate, once again, feel free to leave those comments in the chat. I do go live pretty frequently, Mr. Ben. I try to go live at least once a day with a inspirational discussion topic. And like I said, some people will never look at these kind of topics as inspiration. Like, why every time religion is brought up, the first thing people think is how they can dispute something, or it's just, I don't know. I'm gonna make my point more clear. Hold 1 second, guys. Like, for example, when I do part two to this, it might be called like, slow death to religion is one thing, but if there were such thing as a death to one's faith, I would say that's more of a personal choice. There are things that can happen to us along the way in life that just break people's hearts. They break people down. They break them down from the inside and out. Are we going to pretend that there are not situations and circumstances in the world that literally can break we're talking about humans now, because even animals, it's been proven they have like a psychological system too. You can tell when an animal has been abused, straight up. Signs have never lied, right? There's just signs of things. Signs are all the proof you need with certain things. So if an animal can be hurt, abused, or have memories of abuse and stuff like that, a human being can go through that. Okay? So yeah, human beings can be broken down from the inside out. It just depends on what circumstances. Though some of us are stronger than others, mentally strong, emotionally, it doesn't matter. Something like being broken, you just can't hide. I'm so glad I'm one of those that actually, maybe that's why God allowed it to happen. But people would just see that, oh, that person faith broken. Yep, there's no chance of religion helping them no more. Faith is a little deeper than religion, though. Because what is your faith in? You know what I mean? I say slow death to religion, not people's faith. If anything, I do still have hope that people will find faith in the things in life that actually help elevate the world to a higher consciousness, actually. We don't want to see people walking around with broken faith for the rest of eternity. Or we don't want to see people intentionally walking around attempting to break people's faith for the rest of eternity either. So this is just my perception. Faith and religion, two different things. But faith is oftentimes associated with religion because any type of strong belief would be considered faith, wouldn't it? A strong belief, it would be considered faith, okay? But what else do you call it? You see more news stories coming out. Oh yeah, look at all this sudden SUDDEN news of religious cults and what they had going on behind the scenes. I don't believe that. I believe people been knowing about it. First of all, I also believe not every religious cult is out here just like sabotaging people for fun. I don't believe that at all. I believe it's still some really good folds and churches and communities out here that are really trying to help people, that are trying to help themselves. So, people will stop it at that, like, oh, they're not trying to help the people, the church is not trying to help the people. But it goes deeper than that. Are the people trying to help themselves? Well, most people drive or walk or ride their bikes or ride the bus all the way to a place like a church or a religious community. They come all the way there for something. Most people, when they do give a contribution or a donation, or I encourage people to look at this way. Anything I've ever given out of my heart, God gave it back out of his heart. Like, that's where my faith stands today. And I'm glad God gave me the platform to kind of prove that I actually do believe this, even if you have nobody else in the world contributing to your mission. Because if it's your mission and God told you to do it, why would you stand around and wait on who's giving you an offering and tithing and stuff like this? God told you to be there as a spirit support or counselor or stuff for people. That's all it should be about. But no, people started this. That's why it's a slow death to religion. Suddenly, to me, if a priest asks you for some money to deliver somebody from a demon, literally, because we know this is their work. I'm just saying, I don't know how the specifics work. I don't remember seeing on the Exorcist of Emily Rose, the first thing on the priest's mind was money. The first thing on his mind was actually getting a demon casted out of it, helping a family literally get delivered from a spiritual burden. Of course, it's a spiritual burden if, one of your youth cannot even control their whole self. No matter how long it's going on, 2 weeks, 2 days, or it happens sporadically. We're just talking about the youth for a second. Because, once again, our youth have to follow something. They following somebody. Even if you're not talking about religion, there's other social influences in the world. It just is. It's always been. It's like what I consider influence. What is everybody else doing? And making trendy. And everybody's having fun doing it. That's an influence. Now, I've seen at some schools how they have like clubs and stuff, like religious clubs. If kids want to join it, I think that's great. Any school district who still allows it. Because we do live in a more modern time where people are choosing their own paths. Like, they're clearly already doing it. From careers to religions to sexuality. I would say, in a way, it's actually like a time to be alive. Like, to see people live a way that they actually choose. Actually, God considers that real. Like, what you choose and what you rather choose, to me, is two different things. But once you're living that side of life where I'm living what I choose, well, you can't fault or blame nobody else if that doesn't end up working out for you. You see? But if you just live on the point of life where it's like, well, this is what I would have rather chose, but I never got to, that sounds sad. So yeah, we just live in a time where more people are choosing what they feel like is best for them. From religion to careers to financial changes in their life, marriages, sexuality. It's literally already happening. Because I'm trying to remind people, this has nothing to do with religion, or does it? The U.S. Constitution, where it says, we have a right to the pursuit of happiness. Where do you see religion in there somewhere? Like, literally. Or do people know what that one little statement means? And I'll never sleep on that right. Any day I'm depressed, I'm going to just take accountability for it at this point. Because the right says you have a right to pursue happiness, whether I have a religion or not. That's crazy. Like, you don't need religion to help you decipher. I mean, some people may. I'm not going to knock that. Like, oh, well, I need to learn a new definition of happiness, so I'm going to go get a religion. Okay. Because actually some people were actually more... Some religion work for some people, some it don't. I know that to be true. It's a set of discipline, ethics, and morals, okay? This is my definition of religion. A set of defined morals and practices that you abide by What? To live a happier life? Because the Constitution already includes that. You have a right to pursue happiness. Now, of course, if the way that you go in your pursuit is just dry, hurting other people and just breaking them, and I promise I've been ready for the devil, because what person can stand there? Oh yeah, you choosing, who gonna open their mouth and tell me choosing to pursue my right to happiness hurt them? Because then I guess you would have to go change the whole Constitution. If you got more and more people standing up saying this one person or few people or group of people standing up and exercising their right to pursue happiness started bothering other people, there's a problem. I don't know. I think people still look for happiness in things and people, and that's where a lot of people get broken and hurt. Like, you were only happy up until a person, a place, or a thing did something to you. Then where was your happiness really stem from, really? You know what I'm saying? It's not trying to take accountability from people who abuse others or manipulate others and all of that stuff. I mean, those kind of people, it looks like, are going to always exist. They've existed for a long time. In all kind of positions too. Low class, middle class, high class. So I still don't understand like the sudden shock of like some of the people. Maybe people, that's what's interesting about the world today. Like just seeing people's reaction when the truth come out about people's who could live a more quieter life because they could afford to. What you mean? That don't mean that what they're doing in secret is actually quiet. You know what I'm saying? And God is shining the light on it. They like, how can she still mention God, but she's saying there's a slow death to religion? People that don't know how to read through words either, and they grown. That's another thing, because just because I titled this the slow death of religion doesn't mean I don't believe in God. I actually believe in a higher power. I believe there might have even been gods and kings and other spiritual entities and everything before in the history of just the universe. But what do I mean? I believe there's a supreme being that rules over all. When it comes down to what they call magic wars or battles, what is it? What is it? I don't know. So, but yeah, back to that story about the young lady and the older gentleman that were simply started off with just a discussion probably about the Bible. I've heard people have heated discussions about religion. Sometimes I get in it, sometimes I don't. I used to be really, really passionate about joining those type of discussions, whether it was on the internet or in everyday life. I just thought I was a good candidate every time just because my faith was that strong. I didn't mind a challenge or a question or an opinion in something I'm already teaching my youth, which might not be a religion, but I religiously teach them, hey, everybody, where we live and where we're citizens, everybody got a right to their own opinion. And everybody has a right to their pursuit of happiness. And you just want to make sure that you're not a boulder, a brick, a stepping, some kind of delay in somebody's life from them actually doing just that, exercising their right to pursue happiness. So it's not teaching your kids to be more arrogant than other people or more cocky than other people. You're teaching your kids, you don't ever let nobody step on your right to your pursuit of happiness. If you getting an education at home makes you happy, sweetie, you got a right to that. It's like, what's up with people not wanting kids to know their rights? But we're not going to be like that at You Will Make It TV. Actually, in some states, as soon as they turn a certain age, their rights go straight into effect. If they know them. If they know their rights in certain states at a certain age, you have a right to do certain things. Straight up, like drive or get a job or get your first ID. And then it goes deeper than that. You might have other rights. We talked about that on a segment recently, how in some states you can become an emancipated youth, which just means you're a more independent person before you even turn 18. But that's not offered in every state. I would say the slow death to religion comes about when people are actually being like hurt and stuff. Just, it's weird. You got a bunch of groups of different religions grouping up. Well, this our belief, this our belief, this our belief, and never should you join something, in my opinion, that teaches you or leads you to attack another people who don't stand with what you're talking about, because that would mean you don't understand other people's rights. No, they don't have to agree with your religion. They don't have to be ugly with you and abuse you and try to come after your reputation and character either. Because where does religion teach us to do that? I was just talking about it last night, how, if anything, Christians aren't crazy. People that call themselves Christians, they say they abide by living by loving thy neighbor and do unto others as you would like them to do to you. What's crazy about that? That's something people should believe, whether they have a religion or not. But God specifically talks about neighbors, though. Love thy neighbor. Simple instruction. Right there in the 10 Commandments. People don't have to really speak anymore what they believe. We see who you are through how you live. What do you mean? I've never been a person known to have a record to antagonize and harass and stalk neighbors. Never in my life. That's why they're not going to ever find record of it. If anything, I was always good to my neighbors, or they didn't hear from me at all. How is that getting in your way, me not talking to you at all, from you pursuing your right to happiness, no matter what culture or anything that you are? Yeah. Religion and a lot of places teach about neighbors and how you should treat the people, because nobody is just walking around the earth by themselves. And I've already gotten that deep into thought. Like, some people, God, they have shown me who they would be if the earth was all theirs. Literally, like, it's just them and who they want here. Do you know what kind of place this would be if life were like that for some people right now? If they could do some kind of cleanse, purge of the earth and it's just them here, you shouldn't have to see that transpire to imagine what this place would be like. I actually feel like it's only still a more diverse place full of opportunities for all people because we have so many people here. No one project can be just completed. Some of the projects of the world, it took great manpower. Ask the people who built those pyramids. Nothing like that. Like, some of the greatest inventions took more than one person's brain power or manpower. That's all I know. So that makes sense to come together for causes like that. Like something you actually can't build all alone. You're going to need more expertise on your team, more intellect on your team, more manpower, like I said, strength, just to build certain things, so it's kind of awkward. That's another thing I want to speak on, this newfound, because I would say I don't know what religion it is, but racism, it's out of line. It's out of line. Like, in modern day time, it's just weird. You have whole people that are in relationships now, and it's legal. They've built families with other cultures, like with whole other races. And now is the time of all time in the history of mankind, in modern day time, where it's actually legal to be in love with and marry people from other countries and cultures and races. It's legal to work with them. It's legal to marry them and build families with them. Okay? So now people pay more attention because it's like it's somehow networking has turned into some kind of weird infiltration system. You can't just network with anybody because they say, oh, I want to support you, or oh, I'm into the same field you are. Times ain't like that no more. There are, with me having a little experience in the study of business law, it is really interesting how people will connect and network with you just to, quote unquote, infiltrate. Like, literally, this has been known to happen. This very pattern has been known to happen, especially with the history of black culture and what black people have been through, just trying to build things for themselves and have more independent lives. Okay? They've been known to build their own cities, their own banks, their own everything. Like, it's in the history of black people. They show that they have the capacity and mind power and manpower too to build their own whatever they want. And they claim that it's legal for us to do this today. But how many are being penalized for trying to do just that? Literally penalized from every which way for trying to do just that. it's a problem because it's like, how would you see these old tactics being used in modern day time all of a sudden? And groups of people, they might change the way they come at people. Now you do it through group chats and social medias and however other creative ways. It's so crazy if people use their creative ways, intellect to actually do positive things. It's amazing the type of changes we would effectively and immediately see. Okay, so I just thought that was kind of odd. Like, why bring racism and division and all that back and during a time where it's actually legal to love somebody of a different race? Because it wasn't always like that in America. Straight up. So some of us are actually thankful for the way that the new world is, or the direction that it's headed. Once upon a time, even to me, quote unquote, new world order seemed crazy, or just the ideology of it, just to even imagine it. But when things get so scattered, it seems like there's no better way. What I agree with any new order that's supposed to help the world, but the only part that made me question it a little bit. Like, okay, if you suddenly ban religion for the safety of all people, see, that could start a new problem, because now you could just target people that you feel like is still practicing it, even after that goes into effect. It's like, what are going to be those people penalties? Can people really live without a religion? That's the main question here at You Will Make It TV today. Do you believe or do you not? That who were we even? Because some of these cultures you go research in history, they didn't have a spiritual practice at all. All they knew is work and eat. And if you don't work, you don't eat. That's what they believed in. And take care of your people. See? Then slowly and slower over the progression of time, somebody said, hey, I got a bright idea. We'll just worship the sun, or we'll just worship the moon, or we'll set our religion to this statue or this god, or it's just, and that's how it came about when you really think about it. But still, it's just kind of like conflict of interest a little bit. If you say a person have a right to pursue happiness, and along their pursuit they pick up some new belief or practice, or routine, how better do I say it, schedule, whatever it is, they pick up something that help them to continue to pursue their happiness. That's why it says you have the right to do that. It's nobody else's responsibility. And when they can't stop that, then they'll just attack the happiness alone itself. You work 2 months to pursue that last happiness that you just felt. And then somebody can just come in and say, well, I'm going to just snatch that happiness. I can't snatch pursuing it from you. I can't snatch your thinking process and the things that might make you happy. So why not just snatch your happiness? Yeah, acts like that, especially if it's like religious groups doing it. Yeah, it has to be looked at, or people are already looking at it. Because I just wanted to know what religion out here believes that nobody should be happy. It's nothing that I want to be a part of. Or they showcase that, oh, everybody's happy, but the truth is really everybody's only happy as long as everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. At that point, you're worshiping the leader of that religious cult. You're not worshiping God no more. You're not worshiping some entity or deity. If you're pleasing people, that's your God. And nobody wants to hear it, but it's true. Everything that you feel like you should please first. You see what I'm saying? Like you just can't get through your day without pleasing this person or that thing. That's your God. That's who you worship. That's who you bow down to. So, I don't know. These are just my opinions. Once again, this is considered a reaction video to my topic title. Is there a slow death to religion? Even if it is, it's some kind of backfire, if you ask me. Because who started the whole little game of backfire in the first place? Like, it's crazy, y'all, how I had a dream once upon a time about a group of people because it's just burning in my soul. Not to tell it, it's just been burning in your soul. Those things you actually don't speak on, those be the ones that burn the most. But it was like there was this group of people who were just like walking around, going through files, going through, calling themselves looking for the strongest witch. Now don't ask me how that's, what that means or what I got out of it just yet. But yeah, they were, and I had this dream like over 7 years ago now. It was a group of very prestige people, whatever. It seemed like they were on a timely matter too. Like, imagine you looking for something, but you only have so much time to find it. So they were out here calling themselves looking for the quote unquote strongest witch. It was crazy. They were looking high and low, going to different towns. That's crazy, bro. Cause like, strongest witch for what? Or like, what is the mission supposed to be? What do you need them for? What is finna be their job? Or maybe I seen something in the spiritual realm I wasn't even supposed to see. But that's the kind of things you see. If your own side scares you, I am slowly getting out of that. Like, you can't let what you see scare you. You're seeing it for a reason. People used to have dreams of becoming this or that, something that helped contribute to the world. Imagine more people just trying to get strong in a certain area of practice just because they found out that somebody is out here on a pursuit looking for the one who might be the strongest in the areas. You see, coaches, for example, they have part of their job entails for them to scout out talent. Coaches, teachers, modeling agents, that's a part of what they do. Like, they go out and look for talent. But that's kind of the vibes that the dream gave off. Like, yeah, we're looking for the strongest witch. I was like, what? In a dream, I was standing there watching them, but they couldn't see me. But that's what they were doing. And it makes me wonder 7 years later, like, is that is that what's still going on? Because you do have a whole lot of people joining certain practices and suddenly getting off into that. I feel like at the end of the day, people are not trying to pursue happiness. They're trying to pursue power. But just imagine having a lot of power with no joy in your heart. None whatsoever. Like, no real root to your happiness. Your happiness is only invoked by a sense of power. Like, those are the type of spirits and people with hearts like that, I do try to watch out for. Like, man, I don't ever see you smile unless you got a sense, unless you feel like you're extending a sense of power over people. Like, dang, that's kind of crazy. Which, people who have a right to pursue their own happiness, I guess you could say that them trying to pursue power is not a bad thing, but it's just scary. Like, power is the only thing that makes some people happy, as long as we know. And then you got to ask the next question: what kind of power? Because see, a man like Moses, he definitely was already a powerful man, right? I don't feel like there was a person who went crazy, lost his mind, couldn't find his way, and then just came back to his brother at the palace talking about some God who was powerful because he could talk to a burning. Like I said, God people, it just looked like that wasn't a basic root of their pursuit to happiness. Because I know Egyptian law is different from, that's another thing with Moses' background. He came from a whole different set of spiritual laws that they practice in Egypt. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't over here in America where they say, yeah, everybody got a right to pursue happiness. It just kind of fell upon some of these people of God. Like, but I know they didn't go just searching for power. He already had a power seat. You see what I'm saying? Look how you can be that powerful and still lost. He wanted to know where he came from, what was his true direction in life. No matter how much they tried to tell him, your true direction in life is being the Prince of Egypt. Moses, don't worry about anything else. Obviously, something in his spirit still told him otherwise, you know. I just love Moses, though. I love that story. It's one of my favorite Bible stories. You guys will learn it hanging out here. You will make your TV a lot. you know. Because once a person dies, right, people believe this, that their spirit, their spirit lives on through your memories of them. Okay? Some people actually believe this. Like, that's why they'll say, in loving memory of such and such or such and such. So I don't look at these as just old time prophets. Like, no, these are spirits too. Whatever spirit Moses carried while he was alive, why wouldn't that be the same energy we remember him for when he's gone? Or if you see a certain person operating out of what seems to be like a similar spirit as Moses, you would say, man, this person's carried the spirit of Moses, and it shows. It's not like you comparing that person to that person. It's just like, I can see the spirit of somebody with that person. Okay, you see a person operating, acting like Jezebel, you might say you feel like they carry that spirit. You, like we talked about on other segments, you might say a person carried the spirit of Judas, because every time you turn around, they betraying somebody. I'm just trying to give a new perception of how that might look. But I will be back with a part 2, y'all. Okay, I'm finna cut this off right now, and we're coming back with a part 2. Thank you for your support in the chat. We'll be right back.